It's a new season, but the same old story in the men's event with Nathan Chen right here in Las Vegas at Skate America, presented by American Cruise Lines. It's Nathan Chen, the two-time defending champion here at Skate America, the two-time reigning world champion, and right now the leader after the short program. Chen breaks the triple-digit mark once again, as we expected him to do. And Michael Weiss is sitting pretty happy next to me because this is the podium he predicted. Dimitri Aliev, Keegan Messing in second and third, Jason Brown in a distant fourth. But that was an entertaining men's short program. There's 7 through 12. There's a lot to get through here, and to help me do so, Michael Weiss and Sinead Kerr, both Olympians in your own right. But Michael, that was an Olympic performance from Nathan Chen, who just continues right where he left off from last season.
It was just a cool, confident, no panic. We mentioned this while we were watching it, how he did step out of the quadlets at the beginning, but there was just still no worry and no panic. He's just a seasoned veteran now. You knew as soon as he did, I go, oh, he's going to do the quad toe, triple toe on the second one. It'll probably be even better because the combination will be late in the program. It was just a cool, confident, easy-looking Nathan Chen, exactly what he wanted to put out there. Maybe a little step out on that quadlets, but still a comfortable lead.
It was a roller coaster men's short program, except for those top three guys. They really brought it when they needed to.
Oh yeah, for sure. The last group it really brought it up a notch.
Yeah.
The first group really were very under par. I know it's early in the season, but I think that it was the second group really did step it up. Keegan Messing, for me, he was just outstanding. And the whole crowd, you could just feel them just lift. The energy in the arena just lifted when it came to his performance. They were all willing him to do well after his brother dying, and
yeah.
It was just an amazing performance, and I just can't wait to see his long program now.
It was beautiful to watch Keegan Messing because he skated last and he skated after Nathan Chen.
Yeah.
That was his wedding song. You mentioned his brother passing away just a few weeks ago, and he really seemed to do that for his brother today.
We did, and we talked about it a little bit before the show, how sometimes being very emotionally vulnerable like that, it sometimes brings out the best in you, and that was one of the best performances I've ever seen Keegan skate. And at the end, you see that tribute. I'm sure for him it was just so emotional. He skated the program for his wife, those emotions there, just
Yep.
newly married, and then the recent passing of his brother, and at the end he looks up and gives a kiss to the sky, and just a very special moment for him. I was very happy to see that.
It was really emotional, but also very chill as well. I felt like his performance was just very calm. And which was, for him, he's very, we've been used to seeing him doing very energetic programs or cheeky programs. This, I felt, was something different from him. It was more mature, more chill, and he just seemed to float across the ice. It was beautiful.
And some of the things he doesn't always get credit for is he's, a very powerful, strong skater. He has great knees and really
His knees
deep
are
edges.
amazing.
And he emphasized those in this program and showed them off well. But he's also a great spinner. He spins really fast. His camel position is one of the best that I've seen. Speed, momentum, great position. So the little things he did well for me, that was my favorite performance of the evening.
Well, this is what we do well here on Ice Desk, of course, break down everything we just saw from the men's short program. We want you guys to get in touch. Use hashtag IceDeskAnswers on Twitter, and if you're watching us live right now on Facebook, don't be afraid of that comment button just below the video because we want to hear from you. Let's go ahead and check out the program that we've been talking about already so far in this show, and it's Nathan Chen, the world champion, two-time and reigning, coming into Skate America. This was the quadlets that he just held on to, Mike.
Yeah, and the good thing is he didn't put his other foot down. He double threed out of it. He turned out of it. He did not step out of it, which has affected his grade of execution much better than a step out. And then later in the program, throws in this quad toe, triple toe. The best jumping pass for him in that program there. It's late in the program, well performed. And it was just, like I said, we have such a high expectation for him that we expect him to be amazing, huge energy, the best performance that we've ever seen, and it's not always going to be that way for him, but we talked again about this in the beginning of the show. He likes to build and build and build as the season goes on. He wants to be the world champion again. He wants to be the Skate America champion, but he wants to start out slow and build to peak at the World Championship, National Championships, and the World Championships.
We had seen Rocket Man at Japan Open a few weeks ago. No one had seen that La Boheme short program. And what were your impressions of what you saw today?
Very different from the last couple of years' short programs from him. It was definitely a more subtle, more subtle music, so therefore he was skating more subtly to it. But I mean, just everything he does, his footwork is just amazing, and he is becoming such an artist now. Whereas I feel like before, a few years ago, we always talked about Nathan as being the technician and the one who could land all the quads. But now, I know that we said this for the last 2 years and it has been coming, but more and more every year I see him as being an artist as well. So he's for sure the overall package. I mean, it sounds like a broken record, but he just has everything.
That was a Shaylin-born program, and the free skate is done by Marie-France Dubreuil. We can't wait to see that. It is lights out, the Rocket Man. So Nathan Chen, as we expected, in the lead after the short program by 6 points. But what about a comeback skate of sorts for Dimitri Aliev, who was 7th at the Olympics last February?
That was the best jumping combination of the whole event, right there.
You loved
Quad
that.
lutz, triple toe. Sorry to interrupt you, but I had to say that. And this quad toe, a little bit of a turnout on it, but again, same thing that Nathan did. Didn't put his other foot down, so that didn't affect their score as much if they'd have stepped out. This triple axel was nice and smooth, but that quad lutz triple toe was one of the best I've seen.
How impressive is it to see him skate like this after really a sophomore slump last year?
Yeah, you know, we saw his potential in 2018, you know, 7th place finish at the Olympics, the World Championships, and then there was the lull last year, and it was like, oh no, what's going to happen to the future of this? And now it looks like he's back again, and he's been practicing great, and he showed it here in this short program.
When you have a season that you don't bring your best, I mean, 7th at the Olympics, 7th at Worlds in 2018, last year the pieces just didn't come together. It seems like, you talk about that jumping pass, the triple axel looks really good. Yeah. It looks like he's got his confidence back.
Yeah, and I think that he obviously has amazing technique when he jumps. His position in the air, his height. He has everything it takes to be a good or a champion skater. And some years, you know, maybe things don't quite go according to plan, but I feel like he now is in a position where he's probably building on the confidence from what he had a couple of years ago. And I'm hoping that last year was just a slump for him, and that he's going to come through.
Yeah. And one of the things we pointed on was the fact that his jumps and his jumping elements are great, and those jumps are back. But one of the best things he does best are his component marks. He's a great skater, and you know, some of the guys, you know, Boyang Jin, people like that, known for jumping. Aliev is also known for his jumping, but he's very much known for his component marks, and he can be competitive in that area with the best skaters in the world, and that's what makes him dangerous.
And you also look at the Russian men overall. Mikhail Kolyada has sort of struggled in the last season or two, so maybe he could take the reins there for a really great performance there in the short program from Dimitri Aliev. We talked about him earlier, but we've got to show you this program from Keegan Messing, who came through a lot of weight on his shoulders today, but comes out, he's been practicing so well, and opened big, Mike, and then just really continued.
We spoke earlier about his knees. His knees when he lands these jumps, it's unbelievable, that knee bend. And it really makes him such a soft skater as well.
Yeah, and that triple lutz there, he has a quad lutz that he can do, and he does in his free skate, but in here he did the nice, here's the camel position I was speaking of. Look at the speed momentum he carries through.
And that sit position.
Great sit spin. Very few people gain speed from one position to the next. He hits it at the beginning in the camel, then he gains speed with his position change to the sit spin, and carries that momentum throughout the entire spin. And just a great moment for him.
Yeah,
you feel that, right?
Yeah, we did. The whole audience felt it. I think there was such an atmosphere in the rink, kind of from the moment he stepped on the ice, but I think that when he nailed that first jump, it was just the music, the skating, the choreography all just came together, and it was beautiful.
It was nice to see just maybe a touch of something a little different from Keegan overall. We know that he's got the jumps. The jumps look maybe a little more comfortable to me at this Skate America, and then it's a step away from the Charlie Chaplin. It's a step away from kind of we know he can be a showman, but there was real artistry in that program.
I like. The reason I love Keegan is because Keegan is exactly who he is. You know, he's not going to change for any. He's not going to be the balletic type. He's not going to compete in those realms with those type of skaters. He's like, this is me. This is what I do well. It's awesome. The audience loves it, and the judges are now starting to appreciate it. And that's what I really appreciate about it, is skating.
There's a nice crowd gathered here with us in Las Vegas. Do you guys like Keegan Messing? That was pretty amazing, right? Just in general. think we've got some Keegan super fans too, right? Some close family and friends. Thanks for being here. And actually, the internet is really, everyone's talking about Keegan Messing, including Megan Duhamel, weighing in from watching on TV saying, just putting this out there in the universe, Keegan Messing is my new hero. So a big congratulations to Keegan on the podium. And of course, we'll look for another Grand Prix final. Remember, he made the Grand Prix final a year ago. So big afternoon for him. Let's go ahead and keep the trends going with these top guys. And Jason Brown didn't necessarily have the skate that he wanted today, but he's still in 4th place. Those component marks really helped him today because, Mike, that triple axel, he wanted it to be there in this short program, but it wasn't necessarily.
Yeah, and we talked about it. You know, he was going to be taking things back technically a little bit in this competition because he's coming back from that concussion, and triple axel was his most difficult element, and then here he just opens up, turns it into a single, and so that really affected his technical score. But, you know, the things that everybody loves about Jason are the little things that he does well: spin positions, spin speed, spin center, his nuance, every single nuance in his program. There's a movement and there's a purpose for every single sound in his program, and that's where he shines. And so sometimes when he does miss the elements and the technical side of it, he makes up for it so much so with the performance.
His attention to detail on movements, even just an arm movement or a hand movement or a leg movement, is incredible, and it's probably the best out of everyone in the men's. That attention to detail and the choreography. So as Mike said, that if sometimes the jumps don't work out, he always has that to fall back on.
He's one of the few skaters that can have a short program technically like that and still be sitting in 4th place. Seriously, because if somebody else were to go out there and just do 2 triples, you know, a triple combo and a triple, and not have an axel, and not even fall or miss a quad, very few people can be sitting in 4th place after that, and he's one of the few because he does those other things.
And it's a technically difficult program as well. Both his short and his long program. It's not just crossovers. Meaning like
on the component side.
On the component side, the movements that he does takes a lot of work. So it's nice to see the judges appreciate that.
Yeah, certainly. That's a Roheen Ward program, and they work really well together. They have for years. So that's your top 4. You've got Nathan Chen in the lead, as we expected. Dimitri Aliev, Keegan Messing will go home happy with that program this afternoon. And Jason Brown, I mean, the one problem for Jason Brown, though, is 13 points off the podium. He's going to have a crystal clean free skate. He's been trying the quad Saukow in practice, but he's going to have to be absolutely perfect to try to get onto the podium.
Yeah, he will, and he's going to need some help from the guys above making mistakes in order to do that if he does want to get into the podium. But right now, you know, it has happened before where you can maybe finish 4th at a Grand Prix event and still make the final if you win the next one. So maybe as the concussion heals, he skates better later in the season, maybe he can have a chance to do that. But from right now, he's kind of on the outside looking in right now.
As we discuss it, we can pull up the standings from the short program. Nathan Chen, so excited to see that Rocket Man free skate and what he has to do whenever you're the leader, no matter if it's after the rhythm dance or short program, you just have to do what in the free skate to make sure that you're bringing your best?
Well, I mean, and Nathan is just a different kettle of fish from anyone else I know. I feel like he's just so cool and just so chill. I think that he has to just continue going in the way he's going. I don't think mentally he's going to do anything other than be strong. I think that he's got to be the favorite leading into tomorrow, and I can't see anything else really knocking him off that.
And Mike, what does Keegan have to do here? Because look at that, he's 0.23 points off of the silver medal.
I mean, it's basically a tie for 2nd place. I mean, there's really no difference in there. He just needs to be able to tap into the same emotion that he had in that short program, do that same thing in the free skate, and he'll find himself in medal contention here, and then hopefully he's positioned him well to make another Grand Prix final again this season.
There's a couple names there that we didn't really see because they're not in the top 6. That includes Jin Boyang and Junwan Cha, who didn't necessarily have the afternoons that they wanted, so they're going to want to come back in the free skate and try to climb higher. And that's sort of the open field that men's skating offers right now, especially with the quads, is if you don't have a great short program and you've got an armor of quads, you can do some climbing in the free skate.
Yeah, there's a lot more room, there's a lot more ability to make up those points now in the free skate, especially with the amount of quads that those two have, Boyang Jin and Cha. They have quads and they have them in their arsenal, so they could make things up. But again, it's those guys ahead. They got to give you room. They got to, as the cliche is, you got to leave the door open. If somebody leaves the door open, they can do it, but it's going to be difficult to do it just on their own without somebody else above them making a mistake.
All right, and also a Skate America debut for the American Alex Krasnozhan, who almost had that quad flip, didn't quite get it there. Let's go ahead and look at our schedule for the rest of this evening. Ice Desk, we're going to be right back here. Shanae Kerr is going to be in the hot seat for the rhythm dance this evening. We're going to preview that. Hubble and Donahue as defending champs. They're back here at Skate America. We'll be with you between sessions before we get ready for the ladies' short program tonight, including our first opportunity on the Grand Prix to see Anna Sherbakova. We have Tuk Tomisheva. We've got Brady Tennell. We've got Kairi Sakamoto. We've got a whole lot of great skaters this evening. And if you're up wherever you are in the world, you can watch live on U.S. Figure Skating's Facebook and YouTube. And for those fans of you here in the U.S., you can watch all weekend free on NBC Sports Gold. Just go to nbcsports.com/gold/figure skating, and you can watch free skating all weekend long, which is awesome. You excited for the ice dance tonight? We've got a lot to look forward to.
I'm very excited for the ice dance tonight, yes.
We'll have time to talk about that, and then I know that you're itching. You tried to see a Sherbakova Lutz today, a quad Lutz. You missed it.
I know. Well, she didn't do it because it's a short program. She's not allowed to do it in the short program.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have some Michael Weiss hot takes here in Las Vegas.
That's a teaser.
Skate America. That is a
business.
teaser. I can't wait for it. Skate America 2019 presented by American Cruise Lines. Michael Weiss, Shanae Kerr, Nick McCarville will be right back here with you before the rhythm dance. And for now, it is farewell from Vegas.